just between us. I saw someone comment that, like, yes, Gabe's transitioned and it's good we addressed that, but we also had to address the new dog.
Right, we never mentioned Phantom.
We never introduced you to Phantom Boy. He's the love of my life.
Show them his face.
Oh, it's a little man. He's the Phantom Boy. He's the Phantom Boy. So for this week's episode, I picked a banger of a topic.
Yeah, you did.
Which is worst dating advice. There's a lot of dating advice out there. I give dating advice. I wrote a book about it.
Yeah, you did.
But that's funny. You realize I can say that now.
Yeah, and you were writing a book about marriage, so.
Yeah, but there's a lot of stuff out there, and I don't think all of it's good. What comes to mind when I say worst dating advice?
I think stuff that futzes with communication. So not saying how you feel or not being your true self in order to reel someone in. For example, like, oh, don't, give the other person the power by texting first. Or don't
wait 3 days to call somebody back.
What the hell is
that? That always drives me bananas. 3 days? 3 days to an anxious mind is a year and a half.
Well, I think that's like a 90s thing, right?
Yeah, but I think we can go back in time. I think we can sort of look at all bad dating advice over the years.
Yeah, don't seem eager, which is like, what do you mean? Like, if you guys like each other, then be eager. Like, time is passing. Life is short. The earth is shriveling up. Be eager.
Eager, but not love bomby.
No.
Yeah.
Just sort of like, I'm excited. I would like to see you.
I think playing hard to get is a really problematic thing. That's caused a lot of issues and heartache.
Terrible.
I've never played hard to get a day in my life. I don't think I'd know how.
What do you mean?
Like, I don't. What do you just don't reply right away?
Yeah.
I reply to texts right away. And sometimes in dating, in all of life, I'll be like, oh, does this make me look less like cool?
Yeah.
Sometimes, but then I'm like, who am I fooling?
Yeah.
That's not really my aesthetic.
I have done the thing where I'm sort of playing someone though.
Ooh, tell me more.
I'll do the thing where I'll be talking to someone and then I get the sense that maybe I'm replying too much, so then I don't reply for like a day, and then they'll reply, or they'll maybe send me something else, and then I'll go to their Instagram and like a picture from like 3 weeks before, and then not reply. I'm giving away.
Not reply.
Yeah, I'm kind of giving away my trade secrets.
And why do you do that?
Just to create an air of mystery, to drive them a little crazy. Like, what?
That's horrible.
What? And then I'll reply. But I just want to have them to be like, but they're not responding, but they liked a picture from like 3 weeks ago. Like, I just get them thinking about you.
Oh no, I do not approve this message.
Okay, not always, but I think sometimes you have to play people a little.
I think a kind of problematic thing that has good intention is like the whole, if he wanted to, he would.
Okay, I hate that.
So I just feel like it's like if he wanted to, he would do this, he would show up, he would,
I hate it.
And I just feel like it removes like context, because sometimes people are like really stressed at their job, or there's some extenuating circumstance, and I feel like there's kind of being peddled this idea of like, well, if he wanted to, he would, and if he doesn't
like
if there's one mistake or one follow through that like you thought that you're like, you should be like,
yeah.
But like, I also think we need to like allow for like explanation,
right?
And like, obviously, if this is a pattern where this person makes no time for you, doesn't prioritize you, doesn't seem to care, that's very different.
Right.
But I feel like it's been like weaponized as like, oh, he didn't call you that back when you called him and within 30 minutes. Well, then get rid of him.
No, not even that. Just this idea that a guy should know exactly what to do for you. Like, some people like flowers, some people don't. Some people like big gestures, some people don't. Some people want to go out to dinner, some people prefer movies. Like, if he wanted to, he would. Is like, it's not allowing for what happens in the individual relationship or the individual person's tastes. I think it's like, okay, so you're just supposed to never communicate anything to the person and then expect them to just do it. I guess if you are communicating it a million times and they're not doing it, okay. But if you're like, well, he's supposed to do this romantic thing for Valentine's Day or whatever, and he didn't, it's like, how does he know you want to do that? Like, what you don't ask, you don't get.
So for Valentine's Day,
yeah,
I said, I have class, I know we need to go out, we don't need to do much, but I would like candy.
Yeah.
And I explicitly said that multiple times.
Great.
And guess what I got on Valentine's Day? Candy.
Exactly.
Love it.
I think sometimes relationship advice is given in order to make the two people seem oppositional to each other. You're at war. You're trying to outgame each other. You're trying to like get a step ahead so the other person owes you or you're the better one or whatever. And that's exhausting. Like, I don't think it should be like your adversaries. I think you should be working together to create the most harmonious living situation in life.
Yeah, it's sort of setting it up that it's like a power game, and it's like who gets more power instead of like you said, like we're both striving towards the same goal.
I hate.
Lay it on me.
I hate if I'm too much, go find less.
Ooh, I hate if you can't love me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best.
Yes, absolutely.
Yuck.
I will go find less. I'm so stressed out and busy and tired. Go find less. If there's, that's amazing. I would love to find less, in fact. Like, I think that is not the insult that you think it is. I think it's a little bit of a self-own, in fact. The idea that a relationship has to be like this high stakes, high stress, like it has to have, be challenging you all the time and we have to be overcoming stuff all the time. No, you don't.
I think for me, it's the one of like, if you can't handle me at my worst, and I get what they're implying, like, things like relationships are not.
If somean died and
right,
you
were
like, not at your
you're
best.
Going through a work, but I think people have now used it as sort of like this loophole of like, well, I can behave however I want to behave, and I can treat you terribly, and if you can't handle me treating you badly, then you don't get me to treat you well. And it's sort of like
it absolves them of their behavior.
Yeah, it absolves them of their behavior. It removes like the responsibility of like us taking care of our own shit.
Correct.
And not like flopping it all on our partner, or this idea that like real love is like standing by someone even when they're terrible to you. Like, I really don't like that.
No, I hate it. I hate this whole I'm never going to look inside myself and see if my behavior is appropriate or if I'm healthy enough to be in a relationship. I'm just going to be like, no, everyone that I'm with has to 100% handle all of my quirks and all of my bad, like, and it sometimes borders on like abusive behavior. And then it's like, but if they walk away from that, then they've abandoned me at my, they couldn't handle me.
Yeah, because I feel like our worst is something that we should be striving to reduce over time. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, my worst behavior when I was like 21 is different than like my worst behavior now in a relationship.
Exactly. What's your worst behavior now?
Now I think I get the most riled up about politics.
Okay.
Where like I get too angry about it if we disagree about something regarding politics.
Oh, that's interesting.
Where like I can be like really like empathetic and understanding and like allow for differences of opinion about other stuff. Yeah. But with politics I get riled.
That's so interesting.
What's your worst behavior? And my worst behavior is my OCD and like making him.
That's not worse. That's not worst. That's not worst. I think I'm still sort of figuring out what actual intimacy is, but I'm not running around making that everyone's problem like I think I used to.
What do you mean by that?
I don't know. Like I think I would get really fight or flight or really like scared about intimacy. And now I've learned to just chill the fuck out.
The other thing that I think is so problematic is when you know. Sure, there are some people when they meet their partner, they just have complete certainty about it. And especially for a lot of people that have relationship anxiety or relationship OCD, like this idea that you need to be so certain is like, then when you literally can't be because that's how your brain is set up. You feel like you're a failure or that like you'll never find love or that you don't know what real love is. And when you're making like a huge life decision, you go through it and you think about it and there'll be moments of doubt and there'll be days where it's like, well, I don't know, or like
I feel that it was really harmful because my last relationship had such a great origin story that I felt like, well, this has to be the one.
Oh, that's interesting. So that played into it?
Yeah. I think I've done that in a lot of relationships where I've been like, the origin story is so great that I have to make this the one. Mm-hmm. And I think I'm married to how we met is so important that, you know, that's why I've never dated anyone seriously off an app, ever. Because I'm like, how we met is so interesting and so important that it must, you know, it must mean something. And what it meant was, wow, we were together for that amount of time. You know what's interesting? Okay. On Love Island, they'll say, oh, I really like him. He's like me, but a boy. Or I really like her. She's like me, but a girl. Why?
Because you wouldn't want to date yourself?
I mean,
I wouldn't.
Got a lot more energy than Sugar, but Sugar's kind of the old guard, you know?
To Sugar, Phantom is like an annoying cousin.
Yeah.
That like, she knows his family, so she's like gonna protect and tolerate, but she doesn't like enjoy him.